Hello and welcome to another Ultra Confusion Google Hangout. I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific Connor himself, Zelius.
Yo.
Yo. And we once again have a special guest, our in-studio co-host, Jesse.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys. There was a slightly itty-bitty little announcement that happened on Tuesday. Some of you may have caught it. Some of you may have read up on it on Ultra Confusion. Others might have seen the shitstorm that seems to have descended upon the gaming nation after
No,
the
I was
reveal.
surprised at the backlash, man.
Yes.
It's like, whew. Anyways, continue.
We, of course, are talking about the Microsoft big reveal. That, of course, is the Xbox One. It is a media-centric device that's going to basically put all of your media needs into one box. That a lot of people have basically said it looks like a VHS player.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I'm like, really? That's what you take out of it? Is you're getting a VHS player? I don't get it.
Well, here's the deal. I hate to break it to all these people who are like, man, it's got to be flashy, it's got to be like awesome and crazy and stuff. Go into like Best Buy or Magnolia, which is like the high end Best Buy, and look at the high end audio visual equipment,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me that if you were to put an Xbox One on top of it, it would look like it goes with the set.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
It
they're
looks
doing.
like something that go on top of like a Harman Kardon stereo system.
Exactly.
It's kind of got those solid, kind of almost black, that black matte finish. Yeah, I like the look of it personally. I was like, all right, I can dig that.
I didn't see any. I mean, I understand that yes, it doesn't look sleek. It doesn't look. It it's
Okay.
going to function as another piece of media equipment, and it's going to fit right in with basically everybody's surround sound system, and
It's supposed to be unintrusive.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
not supposed to notice it. Microsoft wants it there, but they don't want you to notice it's there.
And honestly, I give less than two shits on how my actual game system looks. Like, I really don't care what it looks like. As long as it works and it plays games and maybe does media stuff now, I really don't care how it looks. Maybe it's because I'm a bachelor, so it doesn't affect me. I don't know, but I really don't care.
Well, to be honest, I think that it would probably mean more to bachelors simply because there's a possibility of bringing girls over if they're like, oh my god, what is that hideous thing over there?
It's a cable box.
It's the kid, right? Yeah, it
Cable
looks
box.
like my DVR.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And
Well,
the
that's
point.
my one disappointing thing is it doesn't look like it's going to have a DVR.
No, it's not going to have a TV DVR. It's just going
But
to.
what it does have is a Sony Blu-ray player, which I find a little hilarious.
Well, they had to. I mean,
I know they had to.
They absolutely had to have the Blu-ray player in there. There's you couldn't have a DVD player in there.
I
It
know.
makes
I just
sense.
find that hilarious,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so the big reveal was, of course, the Xbox One. It's going to be a media-centric device. There's going to be a lot. Basically, they put a heavy emphasis on it being media-centric, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, I want a game console. I don't want a thing that a box that controls my TV." I'm like, "Look, dude, you got what? 19 days, and then you're at E3. And what's E3 all about? Games. So you know what Xbox did? It basically bitch slapped the shit out of PlayStation 4 to say, look what we could do other than playing games,
Yeah.
and we'll be with you at E3 to show you that we're going to basically have every single game you've got plus some.
Because guess what? It's still going to play games.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine that.
So I understand that everybody wanted this like huge explosion with crazy games being announced and stuff, but that wasn't what it was for. I don't understand why people think it was.
Well, okay, here's the other things people are annoyed about.
Yeah.
One, no backwards compatibility with the Xbox 360.
We knew that was going to happen.
And given it's a completely different hardware architecture, not
Right.
exactly a huge shock.
Right.
So for that one, I'm like, okay, I'll probably have my Xbox 360 next to my, guess what, Xbox One. So to me, I'm like, whatever.
Right.
Two is you have to have your Kinect always on. is the word on the street right now.
Well, it's always going to be on. It's not you have to have it on. It's going to be on.
Well, if you don't want to use it, I imagine you could probably still just turn the damn thing around.
Right. This is what I don't understand.
My Kinect sits like right now on a shelf, looking to the right. Like
Yeah.
I can't even see me.
Look. This is what I don't understand. I understand everybody's like, oh my god, no backwards compatibility. The 360 really didn't have backwards compatibility. They tried software emulation for a while, and they're like, dear God, the games suck balls when we're emulating them. We're stopping.
Okay, what console actually had full backwards compatibility with a previous generation console?
The original PlayStation 3 had the hardware backwards compatibility to not only play PlayStation 2 but PlayStation 1 games. But when the new PlayStation 3 came out, they removed that completely.
Well, you had PlayStation 2 could play PlayStation 1 games also, right?
Right. Because there was
I'm saying, like, that's the whole idea of backwards compatibility.
Mhm.
That's it.
Mhm.
You had really one true generation, which was the PS2 for backwards compatibility.
Mhm.
That's all you really had. The PS4, guess what? It's not going to have backwards compatibility either of previous games.
And you look at all the Sega games and all Sega systems and all
Exactly.
the Nintendo systems, you weren't able to play Super Mario Brothers 2 on your 64.
It would have been nice, but if anything, them entirely if you actually look like at the hardware specs
Mhm.
and what they're doing now with going to more x86 processor,
Mhm.
it'll hopefully, if anything, give more longevity to the system in terms of peak performance.
Well, you're talking about the Xbox One architecture, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, one of the main reasons why they changed the chipset was not only to prolong the life of this system, but also here's the genius thing here. It's the same architecture as the PC.
Yep.
So if you make a game for the Xbox One, ta-da! You can release it on the PC with very little code change.
And
Really,
ironically,
it's going to be key binding.
Well, what's one of the biggest complaints on the internet among fanboys is that the ports from the game consoles to the PCs usually are pretty terrible, especially when they first come out.
And the other way around too. The ones that from the PC to the Xbox. I mean, what was it? When they did the original Diablo for, was it PlayStation 2? And that was bad. I mean, that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not.
Some games just aren't as good in the consoles. Well, Diablo 3 is supposed to be coming out in the console someday.
Right. I think I want to say the Xbox 360, but I'm wondering if they'll push it to back to the Xbox One, simply because the architecture is going to be the same. But then again, they've been planning this for a while, so I would not be surprised if you have a 360 version and an Xbox One version coming out.
And that is one, actually, I've read some like beta reviews, and actually people really like the Diablo 3 on the console.
Mm-hmm.
Which worked, though, because in the actual game, I mean, you can only use, 4 abilities at once?
Mm-hmm.
So it's already almost geared towards that idea of, X, Y, A, Z in the first place. So
right.
That's one game that might work. But, yeah, you're right. Most of the time, straight-up PC games going to the console, yeah.
Doesn't work. No. Well, I mean, the one genre that I'd be interested to see if anyone's going to reattempt this with the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 or whatever, it's real-time strategy games.
Hey, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, you got Halo Wars, which was craptacular, and that's why Ensemble Studios closed. But can you have a fast-paced StarCraft on a console? Is that even feasible with the controls you have? And I don't think it would be a stretch.
I think it's I think you have to have a very creative, project designer who's creating the interface that doesn't revolve, basically around, clicking and dragging and that, the concept we've seen in RTS is using your mouse and keyboard to going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of need almost like an entirely different concept of how you interface with your troops. So I don't know. One game I wouldn't be surprised to see go to would be your MOBA games.
Yeah, that's multi-online battle arena games.
You've probably heard of I haven't told them Mike.
League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends is the most popular.
Dota.
Yeah, those I could see going from the PC to the console.
I'm not actually really concerned about the games on it. They'll throw out some games, people will play it. I'm more worried. I'm more interested to see how it works as your media center. I mean,
I agree, and for me, the lack of DVR is already like oh man, that kills me because I will not watch commercials anymore.
well, the thing is, I bet you there is some backrooms deal to not have a DVR on it. So Comcast and DirecTV and
Can
whoever
still
else
put their
can
DVR
still
in
put
there.
their DVRs in their boxes, so you don't have to pay for
Yeah.
all that DVR crap.
Now, unless they somehow like integrate it, almost like your Xbox can access the DVR on your cable box.
It could be. I mean,
Well, technically, I mean, you're going to be running the cable box through your Xbox. So I wouldn't see why you're like there couldn't be an additional piece to Smart Glass to allow you to get to the on-demand and your DVR menus.
Exactly. So it's still recording through your cable subscription.
Right.
It just happens to play it through the Xbox. So something like that I could go for. But for me, that's almost a non-starter for me if it's not DVR capable.
Right.
and how you play the games interests me too, because they're doing the Google Smart Glass where you can play everything through your iPads, your cell phones. You could play. They're taking out the whole idea of the Wii U concept where you have to buy a freaking remote like controller with a pad on it. They're making the pad something you already have, which is ingenious. So
Yeah.
how they integrate that's interesting to me. I could care less about the games.
Well, I'll be very interested. I mean, they're the rumor is that they're going to roll out an update on the 360 to really get us ready for the Xbox One experience. And one of the parts that they're going to be rolling out is they're going to be doing a big overhaul on Smart Glass to really give you the idea of what kind of functionality Smart Glass can have.
Interesting.
Now, I'm very interested. I've got it on my iPhone, but I'd be very interested to see if there is truly any additional functionality that if I were to try to do it through my iPad instead, if there, if that would work. But I love the fact that they're immediately thinking in mind that you're going to have almost everybody who's going to have the system is probably going to have some kind of smart device, be it a tablet or be it a phone, and so you put an application that just immediately enhances your capabilities of your system. It's pretty swanky. Instead of going, oh, by the way, you got to buy this special Microsoft Uber tablet that connects to your Xbox, and you can only get it through Microsoft. So
It only works on a Windows 8 operating system.
yeah, um, I which interesting, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Is you start off with a 500 gig hard drive.
Which,
Now, you're going to be installing your games on your system, so that's
Yep.
going to run out.
You're required to.
Right, you're required to install your games on your system. But for me, I'm curious to see if you can put a not Microsoft proprietary like USB hard drive to store some of the additional stuff.
I forget, it was either ours or Wired, and they were talking to the product guy.
Mm-hmm.
He said that they do have plans to do some kind of possibly USB attached hard drive, actually.
Good.
Because, I mean, at the age, 2013, still having a spindle 500 gig hard drive boggles my mind.
It's
I mean,
cheap.
look at the price difference between a 500 gig hard drive and a 2 terabyte hard drive. You're talking like $10.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, the decision to go with 500 gig hard drive, I don't know. It kills me.
Once the game is on that hard drive, can you take it off?
So this is how they're going to do it. Okay, you're going to put your disk into your drive. It's going to install the game onto your system if it's a new game, and then you don't have to have the disk in your system anymore. You can play it.
And how much space does that run?
Depends on the game.
Yeah, depends on the game. I would assume you're probably talking minimum of what, like
A minimum of a gig.
minimum of a gig up to probably 28.
All right, and what else can you put on
I
your
have games
system?
that, they were probably about 30 gigs on my hard drive.
Yeah.
See, that's why they only put 500 gigs in there. It might be a difference of $10, but for people who are really hardcore gamers and hardcore music people who will fill it up quickly, that's an extra $600 in Microsoft's pocket if it gets filled up and they want a new one.
Well,
Nobody's going to have two consoles, though, just because it fills up.
well, they're. I'm hoping that they don't have a proprietary attachment drive or some shit like that,
Yeah.
because that would severely piss me off.
$400 for an external terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, no. But I'd be very interested to see the functionality. But I think no, excuse me, not think, but I know that one of the models that they've been talking about is probably what they're going to go with. Is that once you install the game, you can let your buddy borrow it. It's going to give you. This is exactly what Sony's going to do. Also, by the way, Sony's just dancing around the fucking question because they're like, oh no, I don't want to piss anybody off. But look, here's the deal. PC's been doing this forever, where they basically lock that game onto your PC. Now it's just happening to be on your console. So let's say that I've got an Xbox One and Jesse's got an Xbox One. I install Call of Duty Ghosts, and then I give him the disc. You can play a demo version of it, but if you want to play the full version, there's going to be basically a prompt that says, hey, pay this amount. Now I'd be very interested to see if this amount is going to be the same as if I bought it brand new.
I'm sure it will be. I mean, that would be stupid of Microsoft to screw the game developers over like that by saying
No. See, the thing is, if they were to go that route and give you like a used game price, that money's still funneling. The way that they're doing it is still funneling to the developer and the publisher. It's no longer just going to be padding whoever the used game owner is, like GameStop. GameStop pockets everything, but Microsoft could possibly create a way that maybe the publisher of the game could set a price of, well, if you if it's not a new game, maybe a slight discount. I mean, I'm not talking like I buy the game for $70 and then they're like, oh, pay 30. I'm talking like I bought the game for $70 and they're like, pay 60.
I would imagine it'd be something similar to basically the Microsoft pricing on the store right now.
Mm.
It's $60 first year, second year out, maybe it's down to $40.
Right.
I imagine it's going to
true.
be that kind of structure where the price just goes down over time, and
That's
you're
true.
not going to see any AAA titles under $20.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what, you aren't going to be able to go get Mass Effect for $5 at GameStop anymore.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
One of the other things that a lot of people are up in arms about is the fact that Xbox Live Arcade games are not going to be compatible with the Xbox One. It's a whole different architecture. You want to know why it doesn't work? It's a whole different architecture. It's like you program a game on the PC, and now you want to play on the Mac.
I installed Parallels or Boot Camp.
All right, smartass.
It's a viable option.
I don't think you're going to be able to install the proprietary OS of the Xbox 360 on your Xbox One.
I bet some hacker can make it happen.
I'm sure that they will, and then you can play your games. See, I have been a huge supporter of backwards compatibility and being able to play your old games, but I've noticed something. I don't play my old games a lot. Like if I do, I'm going to probably break out the system it's supposed to go on.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of nice in theory, but really playing old games, it's a very niche market.
Yes, absolutely.
You look at the cost, the cost analysis. Okay, how much is it going to cost us extra to have backwards compatibility with Xbox 360?
Mm-hmm.
Monetary, the Xbox or the end user, it's nowhere worth the cost. That's
absolutely
just
not.
the reality of people who play old games. I mean, I've had my N64 sitting under my cabinet since I moved in, and I have not touched it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the reality. And most gamers, we like to have our old consoles and devices, and it seems nice and pretty and fluffy, but it's very much the minority who actually plays old school games on the consoles.
I totally agree. I mean, I set up over here, this side of the room. I set up my Super Nintendo and my Nintendo, and I'm going to tell you, I turned on my Nintendo once, and I played Mario once, and
Nice.
that's it.
For that
And it's
nostalgia
been
effect.
set up since
June.
June.
Beautiful.
So you can see how much gaming I'm going back to do.
You're not a real gamer, man. You
Whatever, dude.
suck.
Whatever.
The new games are engrossing. You get stuck in them. Why do you have time to play other games?
Exactly. I mean, there's always new cool games coming out, so I'm gonna try something new. Guess what?
And that was the one thing I did read about the Xbox One, is that a lot of the initial titles will be original titles. That's actually kind of cool.
In the first year, they're going to have 15 original titles, 8 of
Nice.
which are brand new franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my
Nice.
only fear, and someone voiced it through Twitter, was what happens if 6 of the 8 turn out to be Kinect franchises?
I bet you they're going to try to do that.
Yeah.
At least half.
Right.
And the other half will have some kind of Kinect playability.
Now, and I know that you're huge on this, and that's gimmick play.
Oh, is it gonna have 3D capabilities, guys?
Absolutely. No, I really hope that with the increase in the enhancements of the new Kinect, that
which looks pretty incredible.
Right. If you're going to incorporate into the game, if it's going to be like a vital piece, or if it's going to be like squad to the left, squad to the, oh, for fuck's sake, just here, hold on a sec, left. Yep. Okay. Thank you. I mean, I truly hope that they're not trying to like, oh, let's slap the Better with Kinect logo on there because we have this one thing in the entire game that you could do with the Kinect.
Yeah.
If they're going to have Kinect functionality in there, which I don't know if it's going to be a requirement or not. I don't know.
I think I've heard said it is.
Yeah, if it is, I'd be very interested to see.
Well, I don't know if every game will require it or not, but the console itself will.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the console.
But yeah.
The console has to have the Kinect.
But whether or not games have that, that's a good question. I would hope games don't have to have it. That'd kind of be lame.
I just hope I'm allowed to order more pizzas than just from Pizza Hut on my new Xbox.
Is this supposed to have like a built-in web browser with Internet Explorer?
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah, you could probably do it from Internet Explorer. Because,
exactly. There you go.
But the Pizza Hut works with the Kinect.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
Yeah, there's a specific Pizza Hut app for the Kinect that you can.
Internet Explorer now better with Kinect.
Okay. One of the other. I mean, I'm basically talking about all the gripes here. Because that's really, okay. I apologize real quick. I'm gonna jump on my soapbox for a while, but bear with me. All right. So here's the deal. Everybody loves adversity. They love to make small shit into big fucking problems. All right. The consoles aren't even out yet. There is no way in hell that you can name a winner in this war.
I can name a loser.
The Wii U.
The Wii U that was Nintendo's last system.
No, they'll come out with another.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, I think that they will come out with another handheld before they even think about a console.
All right, keep going.
It's gonna be the Holo.
Okay, so here's the deal. I understand that right now you've got the Xbox fresh in your mind, and the PlayStation 4. They released a trailer the day before the Xbox reveal, and it's a fuzzy video of a black box, and they just showed random shots of like close-up shots of the PlayStation, so people still don't know what the fuck it looks like. But guess what? It's black and it's a fucking rectangle.
But it doesn't matter. The 4 is greater than 1, so therefore the PS4 is better than the Xbox One.
Oh dear God. Okay, so here's the deal. I know that you have. If you're a fanboy, fine. Yeah, just scream for one of your things. But to say that one system has doomed itself over the other, it's way too fucking early. It is way too fucking early for you to be saying that shit. Look, you have to wait for the actual release. The Sony screwed themselves over. Sony should have had a huge ass lead over the Xbox 360, but they fucked up in several ways. when they released the PlayStation 3. One, when it was supposed to release about the exact same time as the 360, but they pulled it back and redesigned a huge chunk of it because they're like, ooh, yeah, that doesn't actually look good. So Xbox got a basically a 6 month head start. Then they made the brilliant decision to say that Rumble is the last generation feature, and so the first I think year or a year and a half of the PlayStation's life, you didn't have dual shock rumble capability. Now, of course, guess what the controller for the PlayStation 4 has? That's right, Rumble. um, so here's the deal. It's you can make your predictions, but there's no way in hell that you can know the outcome. I know that there was a 9% increase in the Sony stock after the Xbox reveal. Fantastic. Those are investment bankers and probably are not going to be buying the system. They just thought that the Xbox was not as flashy as the PlayStation 4. But at the same time, when the PlayStation 4 was revealed, it was a highlight reel where the Xbox One, when it was revealed, you actually got to see a system demo and actually got to see the system. Because we still don't know what the fuck the PlayStation 4 looks like. We know what the controller looks like, which kind of looks it closely resembles what the PlayStation 3 controller looks like, which is a little extra LED screen. But you have to wait to see how it launches. Now I know that each console is going to have a shit ton of bugs. Now that's the launch of any new title or console.
Maybe something like the
Hopefully not titles, huh?
Maybe we'll get the blue ring of death this time. Give it a little color variation.
Yeah, the blue ring of death. Well, hopefully they don't put the heat sink right next to the video card this time.
It'd be fantastic.
Okay. So, but there was another thing that a bunch of people are griping about, and I am both. I understand at the same time I'm pissed.
Ooh.
Because this actually goes into a little bit of art talk, the destruction of the game industry as you know it. Basically, the format for publishers right now, a lot of what they do to help developers is they do the marketing, they do the packaging, they give the money up front. But if you take out the brick and mortar store, you go to a digital distribution, then developers could cut out the publisher. Well, Microsoft has decided that in order to publish to the Xbox One arcade, you're going to have a publisher. Either it's Microsoft or it's another publisher, but you cannot self-publish. Which I understand because this will definitely cut down on the shovelware that will flood the marketplace, but at the same time, it puts the publishers back in the driver's seat, which I don't like because I still think the developers will get the raw deal, but I would expect much better quality product as a result. I know there's some innovative shit, and I'm gonna be totally honest with everybody out there right now. For every Minecraft, there's like 2,000 pieces of shit arcade slot machine games that don't even rotate. Okay. Look what happened to the Wii. The Wii was a very interesting, refreshing look at new controls and everything. And then the first year, it's all carnival games, mini games, just shit that they just like, oh, let's make this crappy game and this game and this game. We'll put 9 on there. We'll charge them $40. Boom, we'll make a killing because the big name titles either fizzled out or took much longer than anticipated, or they came out, but the functionality that people expected in those games weren't there, so it didn't sell well. So everybody, and also carnival games and mini games are much easier to play for parties. And the Wii really became the party console because you could bowl and play baseball and tennis and archery
and dance. Dance.
Dance. Yeah, you can.
But see, now you can do that with the Kinect.
Right.
So, and the PlayStation Move if you have one.
If you've got the stick with the bouncy ball on it.
The vibrator?
No, it's not a vibrator.
Sure, it's not a
It
vibrator.
acts like one. Or so I hear.
Mm-hmm. So, I personally think that Microsoft will continue their momentum with the Xbox One. That is my opinion. That is not a fact. And I want to stress that it is an opinion. I am getting so sick and tired of people going out, oh, it's a fact that this is going to happen. The PlayStation 4, it's a fact.
It does have
People
better
like to be
hardware.
right ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that a lot of people, because of the newness of the Xbox One news and the PlayStation 4 news and how it's going to match up with each other, media outlets are basically taking like itty bitty whispers and trying to blow it out of proportion. They're trying to say how evil Microsoft is or how
Microsoft has been
lackadaisical
evil for
Sony's
decades.
marketing campaign is. I mean, you fucking get credible sources. Stop like, oh, John on bbc.com/user/my personal thoughts/blog said that the Xbox is actually going to transform into a monster and eat your children. Well, I gotta write about this shit.
Wait, it's not?
No.
That sounds like a really great sci-fi movie at like 2 in the afternoon.
Well, see, the problem is that a lot of unfortunately, a lot of the news that's coming out about the consoles after the release, they're very credible sources, but in an industry where you get so much more attention for being the first one to say something, they are cutting way too many fucking corners. I mean, Wired.com has gotten nailed for false information. BBC.com, CNN. What's the other one? I don't. And there's some other big Kotaku, but I don't really listen to
Shocking.
Kotaku. Look, I think the guy, one of the main guys at Kotaku, is a total a-hole.
Mhm.
And I think that he's in it for just the money and not the enjoyment of video games. And
There's
I
nothing
can't
wrong with
support
that.
that. Look, how much money have I made off of Altered Confusion?
No, but I'm saying there's nothing. If that's your job, though, there's nothing wrong with being in it just for the money. It's like, should I be in? If whatever profession I am, do I have to be in it for the fun, or can I be in it for the money? There's nothing wrong with being in it for the money.
I want.
You're an
people-
idealist, damn it.
No, the problem is once you put money into the equation, that means you can be bought. You can be bought for your opinion on something, your review, basically feeding this frenzy audience crap just because someone says, I will line your pockets a little extra. I can't support that. I can't do it. You look at Giant Bomb, yes, they're paid for their stuff, but they are paid by an employer, not actual companies. And you can tell they actually love the shit out of video games. And if they were still living on that shoestring budget that they started off with, they would be totally fine with it. If they're one of the very lucky individuals or groups that was able to put their idea out and it took off.
I think there's something wrong with making money off of what you enjoy. If he can
But
do it, more power
I
to
don't
you.
think he enjoys it. That's the thing. I don't think he enjoys it. I think he's doing it.
But would he be enjoying it regardless of whether or not he's being paid then? I mean, if he wasn't being paid, he wouldn't enjoy it anyway, so he just wouldn't be doing it. So what's the difference?
No, see, I have been in a couple jobs where I'm getting paid. I don't enjoy it at all, but I get paid really well. And so, hell yes, I'm going to go to work every single day. I'm going to do everything that's asked of me every single day.
But you're holding like gaming on this like higher level of like responsibility. Like, oh, we have to.
No.
You have to enjoy it if you're going to review it.
No, when it comes to an opinion and giving your personal thoughts, I want them without hidden incentives. Okay?
Everything has hidden incentives. Everything has some kind of opinion to it.
What's the hidden incentive to Altered Confusion?
Everyone has a certain bias going on, whether or not
beer.
There's
okay,
always
fine.
a bias.
Altered Confusion. I buy beer, and Jesse comes over and drinks my beer.
See, there you go. You're buying Jesse off. You're worse than a douchebag.
Oh dear God, dude! I got Jesse over here because he knows his history and shit, and every single time I'm like, did this really happen? And Jesse could be like, "No, dude, that's stupid. I won't play that game because that's just stupid."
Well, I mean, I gotta agree with Zelius on this one a little bit. That people do things that they love, and part of the thing is they get paid for it. We don't know.
But there's a
But see-
difference.
But see, the thing is, we don't know if he puts his stuff out there with an opinion on it. But you've got to also trust that the game review, the person who's reading his reviews, won't just trust his review. You know, you're not the only person that could see he's probably biased. You gotta trust the people who read his shit also go read other people's stuff to kind of get a good unbiased thing.
And this is what's wrong with society.
Like exploding.
This is what's wrong with society. Too many people form their opinions on what the media tells them to. And
but that's not that's not this guy's fault.
This guy got this. Look. See, when this guy first started, I'll admit he had passion, but now it's a fucking paycheck. He'll tell you the next Zelda will be in 3D with a 3D printer that prints out arrows that shoot you in the face.
And if you don't do it, you shoot children.
And as long as he gets a good enough paycheck. I can't stand for that.
But see, the thing is,
that's why I don't like politics.
He just takes advantage of the fact that he knows people don't read other shit. It's not his fault.
It's not other shit though. The problem is you got these people who have an audience, who have a chance to truly educate individuals, and they get corrupted because they'd rather see the dollar signs than give individuals an honest opinion and educate them in such a way that it's beneficial at the end of the day and people can actually spread useful information.
Okay, yes, here's what drives me nuts.
That is exactly right. That is an accurate portrayal of how our society works. From any level, at any job that has dealings with society, that is exactly correct. From politicians down through the media, people do things because they can get paid and they'll influence who doesn't matter. As long as they get money. That is exactly right. You have to leave it up to society to be smart enough to say, I'm gonna read other things. And if they're not,
this is the same society that's watching toddlers and tiaras, dance moms, the Kardashians.
I get a lot
very biased news programs.
But I get a lot of joy out of watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. I do. I get an entertainment that I can't get. You know what? If they get paid for it, fuck, they get paid for it.
Look, Zelius, I'm not saying that I'm not biased, but the thing is, my bias isn't paid for. I don't
think that
I don't dislike Call of Duty because
doesn't automatically put you on some pedestal like, hey, I don't get paid.
I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal.
You're making it off though. If you get paid for doing reviews, you're somehow less of a reviewer.
Charlie,
if you're paid by the company that produced the game, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. Look, if you're a reviewer at a company like Kotaku or Giant Bomb or GameSpot, and that's your passion, and you're getting paid to do that, more power to you. But if you're in that high of a seat of power, and you go, let's say, what was the game? Kane and Lynch, and it's a piece of shit. But your company says, no, it can't be a piece of shit. They're one of our sponsors. They're paying for it. You have to give it an 8.5 or above.
If Alter Confusion, as we gain steam, more people start reading it, and a publisher came and dropped $1 million in your lap, say, hey, can you write a good review? You'd say no. Okay. We'll see what happens when that.
If you're watching this, ask Zelius. I'll do your review for $9.
I'll do it too. I mean, fuck, it's $1 million for putting it out there.
And guess what? If I had $1 million, I think I'll be happy to then fund Ultra Confusion's needs for the next 100 years.
I mean, that's the thing.
It's a win-win.
These people need the money.
I could be a total asshole right now. I'm trying to refrain. But you know what? All right, fine. You know what? It would be amazing for either of you to actually write a fucking review. Okay?
It's now summertime. I have time. I'm not writing IEPs. I'm not dealing with progress reports. I'm not dealing with parents. I have time now. You get me for the next 3 months.
All right.
And I have to say this. I'm going to say this.
Okay.
with my students every day since the CRCT, which is our state tests. We watched CNN Student News. Monday, the tornado hit
Mhm.
Oklahoma. On Wednesday, the CNN Student News had enough time to do the whole 10-minute newscast to the Oklahoma tornado. And the kid had the balls to ask me at the end, why didn't they talk about the Xbox One? You know, I get for a lot of you out there, it's a really big deal, but there are other things out there bigger than the Xbox One. And for that student, hopefully you watch this because this is for you. Ignore cursing because I do understand you are only 13 years old. But there are bigger things out there. And you have these people that bitch and moan over money or this or that and blah, blah, blah. There are bigger things out there. And once again,
Sure.
Monday proved it. And that student, I didn't even know what to say back to him. Really? That's your
Mhm.
concern.
Mhm.
And I get that he's 13, but there are people who are in their 20s and 30s who truly believe that the Xbox One, because it affects them more because they're going to get one eventually.
Well, the Xbox One's going to affect, 30 million people. How many people did the tornado affect? I don't
Well,
support that argument, by the way. Totally terrible, but I'm just saying.
I understand, and this that just says something about our society. I mean, that we place more importance and significance on a material item than on the safety of individuals who live in our country.
But at the same time, though, can't you care about both things?
Oh,
Like, okay, for
absolutely.
instance, here's an example. Politicians, sometimes they get lambasted because they go out and they throw the first pitch at a baseball game. And people are like, shouldn't that politician be, passing laws or fixing our debt ceiling? It's kind of like this idea of like the zero sum idea where if a politician's doing one thing, they can't be doing, guess what? Caring about something else. So maybe, on behalf of that student, maybe they could care about the tornadoes. But hey, there's other stuff going on in the world too.
Yeah.
I know you guys. I know Jesse's not behind it at all.
I'm not.
Jesse's
No.
shaking his head at me like, no.
So, anyways, now let's try to reel ourselves back in here.
We've kind
Uh,
of gotten off maybe at a tangent there.
just slightly. Um, so, the Xbox One. Here's my prediction: the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4, they're going to come out either a week or 2 weeks before Black Friday because they want everybody to buy as many of their games during Black Friday to really bolster their holiday sales. So it's either going to be the 12th of November or the 19th of November. I'm leaning more towards a week before Black Friday. Well, no, the 12th would make more sense because then you could replenish your supplies.
Of what? Beer?
No, games. If if
I,
if if they release on the 12th and everyone runs out gets the Xbox One and their PlayStation 4 and everyone buys all the games up, then you've got time to see how popular certain games are so that you can truck roll out the more popular games into higher, denser areas so you can sell more copies of them during Black Friday.
But see, the problem is, though, they're not going to be discounted games. They could still roll it out on the 19th and then see what's building and still sell them before Christmas because there's no deals.
No, they're going to have
yeah.
deals.
They're not going to have deals
Yeah,
on the
they'll
19th.
do
It's all
bundles.
gonna be
They might do
$69.
bundles, but I highly doubt. I mean, I don't.
No, they'll do bundles, and
Well, bundles are
they'll
different than sales on individual video games, which is
right.
what I think you're talking about.
No, I mean they'll. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to give you like a $5 or $10 discount on the game. I'm saying that when your buddy has I don't know Forza 5 and Call of Duty Ghosts, then Microsoft will be like, well, shit, we could bundle these two together, give a little bit of a discount, for the Black Friday deals, and boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Oh well, whatever. They'll come out before Christmas, so people buy them for their kids,
oh,
and
absolutely.
their kids don't deserve them. I'll just tell you that right now.
They should be doing homework instead
That's
and
right.
watching the news.
Watching the news.
That's a terrible idea. Don't watch the news, kids. Just
It brainwashes you.
That's because you don't read more than one news. Don't just sit there and watch Fox News and be like, they're correct. Or don't
There's
just
nothing
watch
wrong
CNN
with
and be
only
like,
reading the Drudge
they're
Report.
correct. Just remember that CNN is the same news organization that did a satellite remote of one reporter of another reporter, and they were standing in the same parking lot. The
That's
cars were going
extreme
by in the
coordinating.
background. You could tell.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, when you had roommates back in the day and you talk on AOL, like, next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, did
back
nobody
to
else
back.
do that? What?
I did it. Back to
Yeah.
back.
See? There you go. It's the
Our
same thing.
society's been crumbling for a long time.
Well, no shit. that does not surprise me.
But at least we have video games to play to keep morale up.
Yes. Speaking of playing video games, so I've been playing Sleeping Dogs by Square Enix on my Xbox 360. I did have the Captain America 360 game that's based on the movie, and I decided, you know what, F it. I'm just going to send it right back to GameFly, but because it's been sitting here for about a year, and the movie's been out for a while, so the relevance of me playing that game is zero. But banking on the fact that my wife is not currently watching this video, because if she is, she'll probably come running down and smack me upside the head. But I was suckered into getting the new Tomb Raider for the PlayStation 3.
So fun.
So I'll be playing that hopefully soon. I've also, of course, will continue to play Torchlight 2. I feel like I'm getting close.
What actor are you in?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I'm still in the desert.
The desert? What is it like? Every RPG has to have the desert level. It's like the staple.
It's like a requirement. You got to have like a forest level, you got to have a desert level, and you got to have a snow level. And then then it kind
of fill the blanks otherwise. But yeah,
it's like, some games will have like an underground level, some will have like a volcano level, others will have like a seafaring level. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Jesse, games.
I'm in the middle of Dead Space 3, and I found a major thing that really pisses me off about the game, and that is there are side quests within the game to get extra caches of munitions and other things like that. And from when you start the side mission to when you end the side missions, there are no saves. And one of them took me over an hour to complete. The only problem is I didn't have an hour to spend playing it. I had 20 minutes here, I had 15 minutes here, and every time I would save it, and it would save my
your game information.
My game information, but it would start me over at the same beginning of it. I had to wait till my fiance was out of the apartment before I could play for an hour and a half to finish off the fucking section. It was a pain in the ass. I was really pissed because I played the same section like 20 times because I only had 20 minutes each time to do it. And I didn't realize it was only because I was in a side mission. It was a bunch of crap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was really pissed.
Sounds like it.
The game's great.
You know what pisses me off in video games, on the Xbox at least?
What's that?
It's sometimes how many times you have to press like A to actually start the damn game. Final Fantasy 13, I counted 9 times. 9 times when you load the game to actually play.
Are you still playing the tutorial?
The whole game's a damn tutorial if you come to decide.
No.
Do they actually get like a message? Like, congratulations, you're done with the tutorial.
Well, basically, instead of the linear sections that you're going through, once you pass the 35-hour mark, or whenever your tutorial is going to end, it's usually around 35 hours, the world opens up, and it's an open world game for the next 45 hours.
Super! No. I mean, so here's what annoys me about it. Is like literally it takes me like 10 minutes to load the damn game.
Yep.
Turn the Xbox on, you sit there, and it's one of those things where like you press A to continue, right? And then you get to the next continue screen and the next continue screen. It's like, when I load the damn game, just bring me up to where I want to be. Like, that just frustrates the hell out of me.
I will fully admit that I have started to play. I guess you could consider it kind of an MMO on my cell phone. It's called Dragons and Puzzles. It really plays like Puzzle Quest, where you've got enemies on the top of the screen, and you've got these orbs that you got to match on the bottom. But the beautiful thing is, once you put your finger on an orb, you can move it anywhere on the screen. So it doesn't have to be right next to each other.
That's cool.
So you can make really cool matches. And of course, after so many turns, then your enemies will attack. And there's different areas. And of course, in true, like, I guess, social game manners, you only have a specific amount of moves you can move at one time, and you got to wait for it to replenish and replenish slowly over time. So I'm playing that on my iPhone.
Very nice.
No, I'm playing it on my iPhone. I will not tell you where. It's on my iPhone.
At least, luckily enough for you, I'm buying a house close enough to your work we can stop by during lunch.
That's true.
You're buying a house?
I am buying a house.
Very nice, very nice.
Everybody's getting a house these days.
Except for me.
Jesse's getting a house. Aaron and Dan just closed on their house. They're going to be right off of
Longview, aren't they?
Longview, right off of Peachtree Industrial.
Excellent, excellent. Where's Longview?
It's ITP. Inside the perimeter.
It's in Chambly.
Okay, thank you. I forget the lingo, man. It's been a while. Give me a break.
And I'm going to be in Peachtree Corners.
Which is OTP.
No way!
Yeah, he's going to be
That's
close.
like,
He's going to be close to the forums.
Yeah, that's really, really close to my stomping ground when I grew up.
I know.
Yeah, he was on, was it Applegate?
Yeah, we lived in Spalding Corners.
Right, but the street
Applegate Court, yeah.
Yeah.
I love how on the internet we're giving away where we live. This is not
No. Where he used to
live. He used to live.
Yes, I lived in 6274 Applegate Court. There might still be a spawn the deck if you want to go jump in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think we're kind of coming to a close here, but there's
Yeah, you watch my Red Wings.
Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about this year with 2 new consoles coming out, and of course the future of gaming consoles becoming more than just consoles. I know a lot of people still want that hardcore console, but unless you got a Wii U or a Wii, it's been dead this past generation. I mean, the PlayStation 4, or the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, I mean, they've got Hulu Plus, they've got Netflix, they've got ESPN. I mean, or the Pizza Hut application. I mean, they have been expanding in non-game directions for a while now, and to say that you're absolutely shocked that the Xbox One is putting heavy emphasis on its relationship with the NFL, which I can't wait to see how that's going to interact. Because of course I play fantasy football. But to say that you're shocked by the focus being a ton on all the other media stuff, yeah, I mean,
we've been calling that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we talked about the next generation console, even when we did the original podcast,
we're calling for a media-centric device.
Media-centric.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm still pushing for the cartridge.
Go back to the cartridge. Look, here's the deal. The Xbox and I'm assuming the PlayStation 4 are smart enough to still keep the disk drives in there. Well, first of all, it's a media-centric device, so they can't get rid of the disk drive.
Yeah, not yet.
But let's not see. We're still looking at you, PSP Go. But I think that I still predict that there's going to be a phasing out of the hard copy of games, and they're going to try to push for more digital distribution in the future.
Well, you already have the digital marketplace.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can buy a bunch of games on the Xbox Live Marketplace already if you want to.
Right. And I think it's just going to expand from there.
But part of it too, though, is the live disc. That's also public. That's also marketing too.
Yeah.
When you go to the store and you find, Halo 18, and you get your disc, that's marketing that you get at Best Buy. That's hard to get otherwise.
Speaking of Halo, I'm so fucking excited. Steven Spielberg signed on to help produce a live-action Halo TV series. Fuck yeah!
Okay, speaking of Halo,
talk about they're trying to have live television series through the Xbox One. That's a whole different story for another day.
Yeah.
Lindsay Sterling, the amazing violinist.
Yeah.
They just came out with a new video today with William Joseph of the Halo theme. Go watch it. It's
Uh-huh.
pretty epic. She's awesome. Charlie knows. If you don't know who she is, Jesse, go check her out. She is amazing.
But real quick, what Jesse was saying, how that the Xbox is trying to create original content. I mean, you're already seeing this with Netflix, and it's really starting to take off. So you've got a platform where you have the capability to do it, and I mean, you absolutely 100% know that you're going to have the fan base for the Halo series.
Yeah.
And if I'm almost 100% sure they've probably got other series hiding behind. One I've heard, if you've got Netflix, real quick, this is kind of off topic, but if you've got Netflix, one of the series I've heard that everyone needs to really check out if you like supernatural TV shows is something called Hemlock Grove.
I've heard about this.
I have heard just rave reviews about it. So if you have Netflix out there and you got some time, it is a TVMA type of show.
It was
but-
an original. It was a Netflix original. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually the one of the directors was Eli Roth
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
of Hostel fame. But same thing, like House of Cards, amazing, so
Yeah.
good. And another
And-
Netflix original with Kevin Spacey, who was just like a god among men on that show.
And of course, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I think it's
Arrested
tomorrow.
Development.
Arrested Development?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited! It's
I never
about
watched the
time.
originals, so I'm like, eh.
I got into the originals. It's basically the exact same thing that happened with me and Firefly. I
Hmm.
started watching the series after it had gone off air.
Yeah.
This show, I know I usually like to wait till the show's been out for a while,
Mhm.
but this weekend they're having the entire Defiance Marathon on Sci-Fi.
I like
So-
it. It's good.
I'm recording
Not great,
the entire
but it's good.
marathon.
I've only got the first two. I've only
Well,
watched
what
the first two.
this weekend Sci-Fi recorded.
Okay.
They're showing, I think, starting at like 4 o'clock my time. They're showing the entire season.
Well, one of the beautiful things is that they've already renewed it for a second season, and apparently this MMO is still going strong. I mean, they've got 1 million active players playing right now.
Okay. So that's pretty impressive. If that keeps going, it could help the show because apparently, I guess Sci-Fi has it's like a 5-season like death knell.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically like Eureka meets Firefly, kind of.
Yeah.
By the way, Jesse, have you and Charlie caught up on Warehouse 13 yet?
No.
I was about to talk to Charlie after we got done with the video cast.
Yeah, I want to talk to Charlie about it, you stupid piece of.
It's the end of the year. It's our most busy time, and I'm in special ed. Please give me a break on the fact that I have no time.
It's the end of the year. Kids don't need help anymore. They've checked out a week ago, anyways.
I'm now planning for my kids next year. Please give me time. I have 3 months to catch up on Warehouse 13. I have 2 episodes left of Game of Thrones before June when Newsroom comes back. I got the time.
All right.
All right. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the close of the Alter Confusion Google Hangout for this Thursday. Of course, we will be doing this yet again the following Thursday. So if this is your first time viewing it live or perhaps in the recorded section, please come jump in on the Ustream chat room, chat it up. You can also tweet at me or hit the form that is on our website, and then of course we'll go straight to my wonderful phone right here, and you can ask any questions, have any comments, some criticism, whatever. Hit us up. I can't promise that if you email me that I'll see it during the show, but we will. If you do email me and I don't see it until after the show, we'll bring it up the very next show. So,
If not, you can text Charlie. I'll get his number after the podcast.
thanks a lot, Zelius. Thank you for tuning in. For myself, Charlie, Jesse, and Zelius, we will see you next week.
And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.